Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Sandra Siegel. I'm the head of our customer marketing team here at MWI Animal Health. We're here with Courtney Carter, our VP of AllyDVM. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, we're here today to talk about the Synergy Partner Program and get to the questions that we hear most commonly from veterinary teams. Their first question usually is, what exactly is the Synergy Partner Program?
Perfect. So yeah, I can give you some information about the program itself from really a 10,000-foot view. The Synergy Partner Program is a complementary program that was born of a partnership opportunity with our major manufacturer partners and the relationship between AllyDVM, MWI, and those partners and the brands that they represent. We've built customized direct digital marketing capabilities for practices to embrace the brands that they are loyal to, but also it allows for them to reach specific pet owners that really need to focus on lapsing customers and lapsing pet owners, as well as those that are consistently compliant. It also allows for practices to look at the group of pet owners in their practices who aren't buying prevention at all. And it really gives them a portfolio capability of sorts to reach out and encourage those pet owners to come into the practice and embrace really preventive care for their pets in their homes.
Yeah, that's great. And compliance for just even basic preventative care is such a huge challenge in the clinic. So I'm curious to learn more about like how this is complementary. What is that? What could that actually mean in a practice?
So, for instance, if you take a look at the manufacturer partners and the brands, specifically in the parasiticide space, there are a multitude of brands that veterinary practices engage with and are loyal to in relation to just making sure that they stay compliant in the heartworm and flea and tick space. What we've done with these manufacturer partners is we've created these customized digital campaigns that allow for them to really set them up and really allow for those to operate on their own, reaching those pet owners. And really the really, I think, cool side about it is they're designed and developed by the manufacturer partner. So the campaigns themselves are creatively beautiful as well. And this allows practices to engage in digital marketing strategies really without having to lift a finger.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's a really nice opportunity and really an incredible one for practices to really embrace that product loyalty through a digital marketing that's courtesy of MWI and the top animal health companies that we're partnered with, as well as their quality products. And what more can you explain about this email marketing campaign? Maybe practices don't really understand what campaigns are, and it might be kind of marketing speak that they'd rather not, think about or whatever, but can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yep. So typically what we see with practices who utilize digital or any sort of campaign marketing or email, kind of touch points with their pet owners, they utilize really more so around appointment reminders, medical reminders, operational things that really practices have become used to, that are just really focused on that annual visit. What embracing digital marketing can do for a practice centered around the Synergy Partner Program is really focuses more on that preventative side of what needs to happen in terms of the conversations that veterinarians need to have with their pet owners. And it allows for them to really focus on setting up digital marketing campaigns specifically just for those brands, those categories themselves. And we don't typically see that in practice. We see annual, but you don't really see that laser focus on specifically lapsing clients not using preventative at all. And this allows for really a dig-in opportunity to see really, why aren't my pet owners buying prevention? And sadly, what we also see is our highest receiving email campaign in practices are those pet owners who are not purchasing preventatives at all, which is very, very sad. And we see this topic coming up year after year across the board.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think a lot of practices may not know that that cohort of pet owners and pets that they're missing, that are missing out on that. So in addition to getting that good compliance, with that is increasing pet visits, growing revenue. Those are all things that are on most practice owners' minds, and especially now more than ever. But how exactly can the program help with those pieces of the business?
So we've really broken open the strategic side of what it means to segment your pet owners in the practices that utilize the Synergy Partner Program. And we've designed unique targets around specific timestamps of a pet owner's journey with the practice as it relates to their patients and their pets at home. Everything in the portfolio of the Synergy Partner Program, you can see everything from an annual reminder. You can focus, like we mentioned before, on lapsing pets, but we also have interesting communication strategies around reminding those pets turning a year of age that there are new preventatives that are available to them, like ProHeart 12. We also reward new clients and clients that have not been in the practice before. AllyDVM is able to actually determine that that is a new client for the practice and send them customized messaging related to the products that they are loyal to encourage them and let them know that these are the brands that they recommend and that they should reach out to them for more information about that. From a vaccine space as well, we really have a unique opportunity to support practices in that lapsing space around vaccines and making sure that those pets are coming back for that necessary annual review, or in the space that they need it. And those have been extremely successful.
That's really cool. So it kind of creates this more like an urgency around the need and call to action for preventative care, which is so needed. And I think vets need help with that on a daily basis. So all of this sounds really cool and good in theory concept. What about real life? Like, what's it like in like, it's good in theory. Is it good in practice? Are there any results that you can share or stories about how this program really made or makes a difference for clinics?
Yep. One of the unique features of the Synergy Partner Program is our ability to also provide pull-through and really compliance ROI information back to the practice related to the campaigns and the pet owners that receive those campaigns. So they are really able to embrace the full view of what it means to engage in a digital marketing program like the Synergy Partner Program. For example, I mentioned the vaccine space earlier, and in 2022, we had 19% of the pet owners receiving the lapsing email campaigns actually comply and come back into the practice to satisfy that requirement of that lapsing vaccine. And the reason we can report to that is because we can actually see what pet owner received the communication and do they have an invoice that actually shows that they completed that action. In 2023, what we're also seeing right now is we have a 30-day reminder prior to repurchase for some of the major brands that we're working with. And right now we have a 29% compliance ROI for a pet owner showing an invoice 30 days prior. That notification hits that pet owner 30 days before they're due to repurchase, and we're seeing those invoices of repurchased product at that rate of 29%, specifically on Simparica Trio, 25% around ProHeart 12. So if you've ever questioned if targeted digital marketing to a specific market works, I assure you it absolutely does.
That's ideal. Wow, those are impressive numbers. And I'd love for vets to really hear about how this revenue ad is working smarter, not harder. For example, I know it's a huge staff undertaking to be tracking clients on compliance. So how does that work smarter, not harder?
The really amazing thing about the Synergy Partner Program is that with the partnership of our MWI team as well as the AllyDVM team, we essentially will bring the Synergy Partner Program to the practice We engage with the business strategies around what it means for that practice. And after that, that's really all the practice does. AllyDVM engages into the process at that point. We establish all of the campaigns on behalf of the practice, and we execute that on behalf, because most of these campaigns are automated. Once we turn them on, they essentially will run all year long and focus on just those specific targets. And that, therefore, it leaves the practice really able to focus more on day-to-day operations, making sure that what they're not spending that additional time setting up a program of this magnitude. If a practice were to embrace something like this, it would take days, months, and a lot of money to engage in something like this. Even if you're using an outside agency or anything of that nature, this encapsulates the entire process into a simple yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's the automation of it that really saves so much and really frees up a practice, kind of takes that burden off of their shoulders so they're free to do the other things that they need to be doing.
Yeah.
What about pet owners? How could this program help pet owners in their clinics that they're going to use the Synergy Partner Program?
The biggest thing here is relating to ensuring that consistent communication level between the practice and the pet owner stays fluid. It gives another another opportunity in the arsenal of tactics that practices can utilize to ensure that they're staying a part of that journey with the pet to ensure the compliance is there. The communications that we have developed with our manufacturer partners contain interesting and sometimes enlightened rebate opportunities, as well as access to pet care rewards programs. It also provides in some spaces access to home delivery options that allow for ease of use and ease of prescription refill. So they're very forward thinking in how not only the creativity side of it and the beautification of the communication, but it's also the experience the pet owner has, and it's coming from the practice. So the pet owner is receiving that communication. We have a 62% open rate for these communications. So if that tells you anything about the loyalty between a pet owner and a practice, that relationship is further enhanced with this tactic for sure.
And especially nowadays, it's all about the experience that people, even for you and I going into a store, like it's about that experience that's really important. And then add on that emotional concept or that aspect of having your pet go through it. I mean, I would do anything for my dogs, and I want him to have a great experience going through and getting the best care. So it kind of all connects with that. So this is such a great way for a practice to connect, be true partners with their clients, and really strengthen that relationship with them, helping them bond them to the practice. They can see that everyone has the same goal, which is the best care for pets.
Yep.
What else in these campaigns that you're talking about? Can you be a little bit more specific on what's included? Like what are some of the things that are communicated through this program?
Sure. So really, kind of focusing back on some of the strategies that we talked about, it's really more so designed around that pet owner journey. And, for instance, when you have that first birthday, when a pet owner receives that first birthday communication, highlighting the fact that now that they've reached that year of age, they have other heartworm prevention opportunities to explore. It further benefits, the relationship between the practice and the pet owner, because it opens up dialogue the next visit they have with the practice about what their options are. And it gives that pet owner really the engagement opportunity to make the right choices with the practice staff, and gives them the opportunity to have that voice as well. As that pet follows through with their journey with that practice, they'll continue to receive communications and opportunities to engage in, reward capabilities and things like that, because that practice has partnered with our manufacturer partners, and really focusing on the brands that they trust. That's a relationship as well in and of itself that is extremely important. Veterinarians do not recommend products they are not fully committed and loyal to, in terms of the way that they want that to reflect their medical choices. And so it's really critical that it's a pet owner practice cycle, but also that manufacturer partner is incredibly important as well.
Yeah, I love the part of like following a pet kind of through their life, and like really following them along. The clinic is along there with them, and the pet owner can feel like the practice really cares about them. And especially as pets get older, you know, there's that critical age of for both dogs and cats of like, we don't get to see them in the clinic that much when they're like age 3 to 7. There's kind of this gap sometimes where it's hard to get patients to come in. So this is helpful to keep that communication connection and the reminder that they need preventative care, but also they need to come in and see their vet. So it sounds like these reminders may take a lot of time. We know staff are getting burned out as practice owners. Perhaps some people might be wary of signing up for something like this that could put an extra burden on the staff. Can we kind of go deeper into that of what that might mean to the staff?
Sure. Yeah. And so there's a little bit of a conversation that happens in the beginning of the interest for the Synergy Partner Program, where we do discuss the strategies that we offer in the portfolio of campaigns. And really we do that to ensure that it's a decision that's made together with our MWI partners as well as the practice to embrace what that looks like. Once that is really kind of preliminarily discussed, at that point, as mentioned, AllyDVM will work to establish the choices that the practice has made and execute that fully. If you go back to the 10,000-foot view of the program, but by the fact that we've designed these templates alongside our manufacturer partners with the creative style, if in a practice you were to hire a marketing agency, you were to hire an external individual, or even utilize your own staff time to build something of this magnitude related to the creativity, the actual sheer design of it, the integration of all the rebate capabilities, the really perks that come with it, you're looking anywhere between $3,000 to $7,000 of an investment of a marketing program that's really already pre-baked. You get to choose your avenues of where you want to focus, and then someone deploys that on your behalf. All the while, you are in control of the strategy of how that impacts your pet owners. We have had such good response as well that we have had practices in some cases after the pet owners receive their first notification, call us, and they're amazed at how much the engagement has been improved by the pet owners, surely simply calling in to find out more information about the information that the practices have sent. The wonderful side about the Synergy Partner Program and the communications, they appear as though they're coming from the practice. There's no mention of AllyDVM. There's no mention of MWI. It is a mention of the practice and the brand that they trust straight to the pet owner. And in some cases, it's even designed where the patient's name is embedded, so it appears as though it's customized for the pet.
Yeah,
which is even more cool. Yeah.
Of anything addressed to my dog or me.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I get them for Howard. So yeah, I get it.
It sounds like this is a really nice benefit to the practice. Doesn't have a heavy lift from the staff. When you're going through your day in a vet clinic, all you want is easy days. You want really efficient days so you can maximize your time. How else can the Synergy Partner Program be changing their day? How can they really make a difference?
So from the point of view of, really more the veterinary staff, it alleviates a lot of that educational time spent in the exam room as well, because a lot of times when they're there for their annual or they're there for another visit, they don't have a lot of time to cover off towards the end of that on flea and tick prevention and heartworm, and really also, when you look at a pet owner, you have to determine, have they had a heartworm test? Are they lapsing? And so setting up this targeted approach allows for you to already talk to specific messaging related to that specific pet owner journey of sorts. So if it's a lapsing heartworm, preventative purchasing practice or pet owner, they're going to receive a specific communication that's focusing on getting them to a place where they refill an existing prescription they already have. You're not having to go back into the pharmacy, look up the information in the back PIMS and figure out when did they have that, what's going on, because it's already churning the necessary education ahead of time for you. The other side of it too is that it also provides educational experience for the pet owner to read more about what the impacts of that is to their particular dog. So when they come in for their visit, they already have those questions and the areas they want to discuss further on the tip of their tongue because they've already been communicated to. So it furthers that, and it reduces the amount of time that practice staff and the veterinarians spend in the exam room really as well.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency. I love it. I love it. Especially with the checking of the heartworm test. It's always like you're under a lot of pressure. You got to do things quickly. You want to make sure you're doing it right. So it's like nice to have that double check. And then what about the view of the veterinarian? How can this help them? It's not, as you know, with your experience in practice, it's not about money. They're concerned of pets' health first and foremost.
Yes. And I think too, the most important thing that we've learned over the years of working with this program is close to 4 years old. Veterinarians want to know that the engagement that they choose to place their practice, through, for instance, with the Synergy Partner Program, if I, as a staff member, see everything that's there and I take the time to invest with my MWI team member to really put my arms around this and say, yes, we're gonna bring this into our clinic as a communication strategy. I need to know, and we feel like they need to know specifically that the campaigns that they've embraced are doing their job. And so we also deployed analytical dashboards down to the practices utilizing the Synergy Partner Program so that they can put their thumb on the data. They can see all of the pet owners receiving the communications. They can see what the ROI of that is, and they can see the compliance rates in their clinic by category, by species. So there is a grouping of several dashboards that we provide practices alongside the Synergy Partner Program that allows for them to kind of crack open the backside of their PIMS that they didn't know that they had access to. PIMS don't do that. They can run a report on inventory. They can run a report on sales out. You can probably tinker, but what we do from an AllyDVM perspective is PIMS agnostically, we provide this served up on a silver platter related to compliance, related to really revenue and percent growth. So we not only show you your compliance rates, but we also show year over previous year growth in revenue, doses, transactions as well. So there's a lot to discover as a veterinarian about what it means to engage in a program like Synergy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, data is power, and having that data, understanding your clients and your pets' medical records in that way, like that is another level of comfort, and having that understanding is really important. So love that. And even important for like recurring, like it's critical for the recurring medications and heartworm, keeping pets on heartworm. So important. And it sounds like all of this is really beneficial for a practice. Just to kind of put it out there, because people always ask, are there alternatives? Is there another choice that practices can be choosing to have something like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's always alternatives, and there's also, ways that practices want to potentially look at doing working with a program like this on their own. But, just like we mentioned before, they're very expensive to do. They require a lot of time from a practice, and they don't necessarily have the skills and expertise to understand embracing digital marketing. And a lot of times the practice management software systems don't actually offer a way to customize and build email campaigns to this level. The other alternative is you do nothing at all, which is unfortunately a common place to be in. And specifically related to that, what I mean by that, by doing nothing, is not focusing on the actual focus around the category approach, heartworm, flea tick. What are the areas of like what are the areas that are you focusing on those areas more so specifically, rather than just appointment reminding that they're due once a year for a grouping of things. Those communications are all too common. Those are the ones that are going out on a regular cadence, but practices who embrace the Synergy Partner Program have their appointment and their medical reminders and their engagement reminders, but they are also now layering in category level flea, tick, and heartworm strategic communications specific to those brands that they're loyal to.
Yeah, that's great. It's a whole nother level of data access and communication with your clients. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So say a practice is interested, they've got their burning questions answered. What do they need to do to join the Synergy Partner Program? What are the steps?
There's two ways you can go about that. We offer an organic search opportunity with our MWIAH/Synergy website, where they can receive all the information about the program itself. They can query and look at the actual templates. They are available to the veterinary practices to see what each partner currently participating in the program offers to our practices. The second way is to engage with your MWI, TSS, or territory manager. They're the best to talk with first, because what they can do is they can actually really answer a lot of the questions related to, getting started, choosing that portfolio, ensuring that they're looking in your inventory and looking to see, maybe we don't want to spend so much time on one particular area, but we need to focus more on the other. That's where the tailoring feature of really choosing the right path for you in the practice is the most important, because it's flexible. You do not have to take all the campaigns. You can look across the portfolio, pick the ones that really matter to you and your practice, and then start from there. And then it's a simple enrollment form online that once that enrollment form is received, that's essentially the only thing you have to do. If you're an existing AllyDVM customer, of course, it's even quicker. So we typically can turn you around in a matter of 24 hours to get your digital marketing on its feet. If you're new to AllyDVM or new to MWI, that particular process only takes us a couple of days. And so what we have happen there is, once we receive your interest in terms of the campaigns that you'd like to participate in, we then will contact the practice on the date and time the practice chooses to book an appointment with AllyDVM. It's about a 10-minute appointment, where we only require about 3 to 5 minutes of the practice, a team member's time frame. And once that appointment is made, then we will call the practice and we will establish the connection between AllyDVM and the practice, whether that's a cloud-based PIMS or a server. And that once we have that, we will essentially set up the campaigns from that point, and then off we go. So it's a very painless process. It's very easy to do, and it really requires little to no effort.
That's great. Love that. And it takes so much little time. It's just such a win-win situation for everybody. So yeah. Love the whole thing. Thanks, Courtney. It seems like the Synergy Partner Program is just all around a good choice, benefits the clients through a nice product offering, benefits practices through revenue add without any extra burden on your staff, and also benefits the pets that we love. So thanks so much for speaking with us today. This is a really unique program, and really appreciate you having you here.
Awesome. Thank you. I enjoyed it.